Hi and welcome to the Story Keeper. Here, we bring you fascinating stories about remarkable people and historic events that have shaped the world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated on our latest stories. Women have fought on the front lines, led armies, and built empires throughout history. But their stories are often overshadowed, forgotten, or erased. Today, we bring their incredible tales back to life, stories of fearless warrior queens who defied the odds, challenged empires, and shaped the world in ways you never imagined. This is the untold history of the world's fiercest female warriors. Tomyris, the queen who defeated Persia's greatest king. Our first warrior queen, Tomyris of the Masashte, was a ruler who dared to stand against the Persian Empire's expansion. When King Cyrus the Great tried to trick her into marriage to seize her kingdom, she saw through his deception. But when he captured her son, the battle became personal. She vowed revenge, leading her warriors into a brutal battle against the Persians. Her forces overwhelmed the enemy, and Tomyris personally beheaded Cyrus, placing his severed head in a vat of blood, declaring, "You have thirsted for blood, now drink your fill." Tomyris was more than a warrior, she was a mother, a strategist, and a ruler who refused to be conquered. Fu Hao, the warrior queen of ancient China. Fu Hao was no ordinary queen. She was a wife, a high priestess, and China's first recorded female military commander. Married to King Wu Ding, Fu Hao was given an army of her own. She led 13,000 warriors into battle against rival tribes, crushing enemies with superior tactics. Unlike most women of her time, Fu Hao was not confined to the palace. She ruled the battlefield, oversaw religious rituals, and controlled vast territories. When her tomb was discovered thousands of years later, it contained over 1,000 weapons, a testament to her warrior legacy. The Dahomey Amazons, Africa's elite female warriors. The Dahomey Amazons were one of history's most feared female military forces. Unlike other armies, these women were not assistants or defenders, they were the first line of attack. The Dahomey Amazons, known as the Agoji, were an elite all-female military force in the Kingdom of Dahomey, present-day Benin, from the 17th to 19th centuries. Trained from a young age, these fearless warriors were skilled in hand-to-hand combat, weaponry, and guerrilla warfare. Unlike most female warriors in history, the Agoji were not auxiliaries but the main fighting force of Dahomey, feared for their discipline and brutality. They served directly under the king and were forbidden from marrying, dedicating their lives to war. Their initiation included intense physical training, survival tests, and proving their loyalty in battle. They fought fiercely against enemies, including European colonial forces, particularly in the Franco-Dahomean Wars of the 1890s. Though eventually disbanded after Dahomey fell to the French, their legacy continues to inspire, influencing modern pop culture, including the Dora Milaje warriors in Black Panther and the 2022 film The Woman King. Khutulun, the Mongol princess no man could defeat. Khutulun, the fierce Mongol warrior princess, was born into the bloodline of Genghis Khan in the 13th century. As the daughter of Kaidu, the ruler of the Chagatai Khanate, she was raised among warriors, mastering horseback riding, archery, and wrestling. Unlike most princesses of her time, Khutulun refused traditional marriage, declaring that she would only wed a man who could defeat her in a wrestling match. Many suitors tried, but none succeeded. She remained undefeated, reportedly winning over 10,000 horses from unsuccessful challengers. Khutulun fought alongside her father in battle, leading Mongol forces with unmatched skill and strategy. Her combat prowess made her a feared military leader, and some believed she was destined to rule. However, due to political rivalries, her claim to power was contested. Though she never became Khan, Khutulun's legacy as an indomitable warrior endures, inspiring stories of strength and defiance across generations. Queen Yaa Asantewaa, the woman who defied the British Empire. Queen Yaa Asantewaa of the Ashanti Empire in modern-day Ghana was a fearless warrior who led the War of the Golden Stool against British colonial forces in 1900. As the Queen Mother of Ejisu, she rose to power when the British exiled the Ashanti king, Prempeh I, and demanded the sacred Golden Stool, the symbol of Ashanti sovereignty. Outraged, Yaa Asantewaa rallied her people, delivering a powerful speech urging the Ashanti warriors to resist. Despite being nearly 60 years old, she led an armed rebellion, organizing guerrilla warfare and fortifying Ashanti strongholds. Her leadership shocked the British, who struggled to defeat her forces. After months of intense fighting, she was eventually captured and exiled to Seychelles, where she died in 1921. Though the Ashanti lost the war, Yaa Asantewaa remains a symbol of African resistance and female empowerment, inspiring generations with her courage and unwavering defiance against colonial rule. Rani Lakshmibai, India's warrior queen. Rani Lakshmibai, the Queen of Jhansi, was one of India's most fearless warriors in the Indian Rebellion of 1857 against British rule. Born in 1828 as Manekanika Tambi, she was trained in sword fighting, horse riding, and archery from a young age. She married Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, but after his death, the British attempted to annex her kingdom under the doctrine of lapse. Refusing to surrender, she declared, "I will not give my Jhansi." Leading an armed rebellion, she donned warrior attire, wielding dual swords while riding into battle with her infant son strapped to her back. She formed an army, including women fighters, and fought fiercely against British forces. Even after losing Jhansi, she continued resistance until her last battle in 1858, where she was mortally wounded. Lakshmibai's bravery, sacrifice, and defiance against colonial rule made her a symbol of India's fight for independence, inspiring generations. Queen Amina of Zazzau, the conqueror of West Africa. Queen Amina of Zazzau was a legendary warrior queen who ruled the Hausa city-state of Zazzau, now Zaria, Nigeria, in the 16th century. Known for her military brilliance, she expanded her kingdom through relentless conquest, establishing dominance over much of present-day Nigeria and beyond. Unlike most rulers of her time, Amina led her armies personally, wielding a sword and riding into battle at the head of her warriors. Under her leadership, Zazzau became a major regional power, with fortified cities and thriving trade networks. She is credited with introducing defensive city walls, later known as Amina's Walls, which protected cities across northern Nigeria. Despite her numerous victories, Amina never married, reportedly choosing conquest over personal relationships. Her legacy as the conqueror of West Africa remains an enduring symbol of strength and leadership, inspiring generations of African women and warriors in history. Queen Amanirenas, the one-eyed warrior queen who defied Rome. Queen Amanirenas was the fierce one-eyed warrior queen of the Kingdom of Kush, modern-day Sudan, who led a successful resistance against the powerful Roman Empire in the 1st century BC. After the Romans attempted to impose taxes on Kush following their conquest of Egypt, Amanirenas launched a bold counterattack. Her warriors stormed Roman garrisons, even blinding statues of Emperor Augustus in defiance. During the brutal conflict, Amanirenas lost an eye but refused to surrender, continuing to lead her people with unwavering determination. After years of warfare, the Romans, unable to fully conquer Kush, agreed to a peace treaty, marking a rare instance where Rome backed down against an African kingdom. Amanirenas' leadership secured Kush's independence for centuries. Her courage, military brilliance, and defiance against one of history's greatest empires solidified her legacy as one of Africa's most formidable warrior queens, inspiring generations of resistance and resilience. Queen Ana Njinga, the cunning strategist of Angola. Queen Ana Njinga, also known as Nzinga Mound, was the 17th century ruler of the Ndongo and Matamba kingdoms in present-day Angola. A brilliant strategist and diplomat, she fiercely resisted Portuguese colonization and the transatlantic slave trade for over 4 decades. Born into a royal family, Njinga was highly educated and trained in warfare, unlike most women of her time. After her brother's death, she ascended the throne and immediately proved her military genius, forging alliances with neighboring tribes and even the Dutch to counter Portuguese expansion. She used diplomacy, espionage, and guerrilla warfare to outmaneuver her enemies. Njinga was also known for her unconventional leadership. She adopted male warrior attire and took multiple young men as consorts. Under her reign, Matamba became a powerful trade hub. Though she died in 1663, her legacy as a fearless warrior queen and symbol of African resistance endures today. Queen Moemi of Ife, the woman who became a spy to save her people. Queen Moemi of Ife is one of the most celebrated heroines in Yoruba history. She was a courageous queen who sacrificed everything to save her people from invaders, believed to be the Igbo warriors, not to be confused with the Igbo ethnic group of today. These raiders frequently attacked Ife, enslaving its people. Determined to end their tyranny, Moemi devised a daring plan. She allowed herself to be captured by the enemy and taken to their kingdom. Using her intelligence and beauty, she gained the trust of their leader and learned their greatest secret. They wore grass disguises to appear supernatural. With this knowledge, she escaped back to Ife and revealed their weakness. Armed with fire, the Ife warriors defeated their enemies. However, Moemi had made a vow to the river goddess Esimarin to sacrifice her most precious possession for victory. Tragically, this meant offering her only son. Her legacy of bravery and sacrifice remains legendary in Yoruba folklore. These women were warriors, leaders, and legends. Their stories defy history's attempts to erase them. Who was the fiercest? Who did we miss in our list? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more forgotten histories.